Ladies and gentlemen, the long-awaited, highly anticipated, and I mean anticipated, this is Ryan Seidl. Can I get close?
Seidl.
Seidl!
Better than last time, though, I think.
Oh, mamma mia. I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this cat is well versed in patience, tolerance, and stick-to-itiveness. The man's full of mindfulness. He just came back from Germany to take the UEFA Class B coaching license. And he's all about the movement of the United States National High School Champions League. And now I introduce you, ladies and gentlemen, to our Ryan, the United States National High School Champions League starting 11 or thereabouts. Go ahead, Ryan. Take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. Thanks for the introduction. Yes, about a week back here, so still getting adjusted to the time change. Definitely my longest time kind of overseas. So I was in the UEFA B license this summer over in Germany, Western Germany. So it was a very, very intense course, a lot of learning, awesome opportunity. It's kind of a lot of these courses are spread out over many, many months. So you come in for a couple days, but then you have a lot of time off in between to do different assignments and things like that. But this was 1 month straight, 3 days on, 1 day off, because the days on were 12-hour days on the field for 4 to 5 hours per day, classroom session, assignments in between, working in groups, a lot of learning. So definitely an unbelievable experience and a lot to bring back here to the United States and to the high school, environment and the club soccer environment and the players. And I think ultimately I wanted to be a better coach, and I feel like I came back as a better coach. So hopefully that benefits the players. So looking forward to getting started here pretty much now, starting with the club season. And then high school is just a couple of months away here. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, the weather, you all would be very, very hot if you had the soccer high school at this time, wouldn't you? Or am I?
Yes, it's another level of heat this time of year, August. It's not the great, playing conditions, easily over 100 degrees and very humid. And it's I definitely look forward to those evening cooler nights in the high school soccer, November, December, January time. So
yeah, on the banks of the Mississippi, we're up at 100 maybe. Holy cow, it's brutal.
Yeah.
But anyway, here you go, bro. You got your 5.
All right, so I'm going to start with the World Cup. I thought defense matters is my takeaway from the World Cup. And what I really enjoyed is that compared to many years ago, I feel that teams and coaches and clubs and players are understanding that if you learn how to defend and be hard to score on, that you can play with any team in the world, any player in the world. And we saw that in some results. We saw Cape Verde tying Spain. We saw Congo tying Portugal. We saw Curacao tying Ecuador. And that's something that you would have never seen many, many years ago. And defense matters. So that's my first takeaway from the World Cup, and really enjoyed the World Cup. It was awesome, wasn't it, Kevin?
Oh, man, yeah. Yeah, it was. But I'm bringing out the shovel on this one. When you're saying about defense, are you talking about the actual art and science of being a defender throughout? Or are you talking park the bus, nobody moves?
Combination. I think there's a tactical side of it as well, but also there's an individual side of it. Players have to know how to defend, how to tackle, when to tackle, where to tackle, how to provide support defensively. I know a lot of people say, well, it's park the bus, mentality that a lot of these teams might have came with. But the goal for these teams in the World Cup are to find a way to get a result. And if they play a different game, different style, different tactical game, it's a lot more space and a lot more battles that are harder for defenders against top players in the world. So, I don't have a problem with that style of play if teams are trying to get a result. And if that's what they feel they need to do to get a result, then look what happens. And, but also the individual player, the individual 1v1 battles that we saw in a lot of areas throughout the World Cup. I just give a lot of credit to a lot of these different countries and their organizations. And I think it's become more prevalent and more of a focus that defense is important. And again, I think we saw that in the World Cup quite a bit.
And it seems like you're a friend of a goalkeeper, so therefore, you're whale certified, bud. You're whale certified. Nice going. Okay, yeah, that was a great explanation. Okay, go ahead.
The second, so going to talk about the UEFA B license for a minute. And one of the biggest takeaways that I got was, first of all, the focus on the tactical side was unbelievable. It was the most learning I've ever had in the offensive side, the defensive side, the player actions that are so important. And what you see a lot of is you need to have repetition, intensity, and joy in every single training session. And a lot of the actions that you could do, say, in a 5-versus-5 game is replicated all over the field. Your first touch going forward, looking to draw the defenders out, looking for space, moving, finding space. Defensively, how do you close? Where do you close? There's so many tactical things that really, really were so knowledgeable. But what I learned more than anything was that as you coach a lot of these actions, a lot of these, ideas to the players, you have to still give them that freedom to make their own decision. Because I think we have a lot of coaches, and this is just a part of, coaches, they feel they have so much knowledge, and a lot of them do have great knowledge, great experience, and then they try to give all this knowledge to the player and almost tell them, why they want, how to do something that maybe that player finds a better way to do it. And sometimes being more simple in the coaching approach allows the players to have more freedom, which ultimately on the field gives the players more freedom to make their own decisions instead of feel that they're having to make decisions because this is what the coach wants. And I think that's something that's huge in the game of soccer. And I think you see that in some of the other countries across the world. A country like Spain, for example, they're so free in the way they play. Their movement. I mean, we could talk about positions, but if you watch a game, there's so many moments in these games where these players are all over the field in so many different roles, interchanging with each other, and that's part of that freedom to allow players to make decisions on the field. So that's a big takeaway from the course, and something that I'm looking forward to bringing into my coaching style a little bit more is to kind of talk through why, this may be a good decision, or ask the player a little bit more about why they made that decision, but ultimately allow the players to have freedom on the field to have success. So just wanted to share that from the course.
Oh, man, magnificently said. And I know this. If I was to be a consultant on a team, I said, let me see your rondos. And if the rondos have repetition, intensity, and joy, you're whale certified.
There you go.
Yep. But if you can look like you're the senior citizens over at the rest home, forget about it. Okay.
Every session needs to have those factors.
Well said. Well said. Beautiful. Number three,
I'm going to build off of the freedom, and I'm going to just talk briefly about Marauder Soccer Camp, which, of course, the legendary Coach Hart, who's a big advocate behind the high school champions league movement. I want to talk about something that I remember in his camp, which was called afternoon free play options. So there are so many different things that, happen during a camp, but one thing that he always had in the afternoons was what was called free play options. And it allowed the campers to choose what they wanted to do. There was something called soccer golf, where you would find targets and try to hit the targets in a certain number of shots. They would have soccer foursquare, which is a little bit less intensive, but still a lot of touches. They would have king of the field, where you would make a team and you would play. And if you won, you would stay and remain on the field. They would have soccer tennis, where you would play back and forth. And then they had a game called Old School. And Old School was, you find a trash can, you put the trash can down, you throw some pennies on some players, and you just kick the ball around. And there were no boundaries. There was actually no lines. It was, here's a goal there, there's a goal there, here's the teams, and let's go have some fun. And that was something I think so many years ago that Coach Hart and his philosophy was, let the players, let the campers, let them choose what they want. Let them have that freedom. Let them have that fun, that joy for the game. And that was something that you see a lot of structure in a lot of camps. But this camp, yes, it had structure, but it also had the element of what was called afternoon free play options. And that was something you looked forward to every day. And you would plan and get with your buddies and decide, okay, this is what we're going to do today. And just wanted to share that because I thought about that a little bit more when we coming off of the summer and talking a little bit more about the freedom for players to make decisions. So
yeah, you can talk about it. That's kind of taking it into action to really do it. That's fantastic, man. Wow.
Yep. So, and I'm going to move to number 4 and just talk a little bit about the future of U.S. soccer and where I feel it may head, or what's the next path. And then, maybe I'll listen to this podcast in a couple years and see if I was right or wrong. I'll probably be wrong. But maybe there's some things that will come from it. And I'm interested to see the structure. I think there's a lot of talk now, continued talk about what is the next step for the federation and the pay-to-play model, and how do we move forward? Is it is it a not pay-to-play model, but then how is coaches paid, and how are these leagues played? And there's some more recently here in Florida of some of these leagues kind of coming together now, whereas even a handful of years ago, many years, there was only a couple leagues, and then all of a sudden a few years ago there was hundreds of leagues, and now I start to see it coming back down a little bit. And I wonder if by some of these associations realizing that the players in the organizations are spread too thin all over the place. There's not a true consistency of pattern from the competitive standpoint. You have good teams in this league and good teams in this league and this league and this league, and they're never playing each other because they're never in the same league play. They're never under the same association or the same tournament structure or showcase structure, and that needs to come together more. I feel that there needs to be less leagues, more elite players playing together more often against each other, whatever the case may be. And I think there needs to be some way to reduce the cost. I don't know if pay to play is, taking that away completely is going to solve the answers. I was listening to an interview recently from some people higher up in U.S. soccer, and they don't feel right now that that's part of it, but definitely not the major factor. But how do we get more players to play without straining families and stressing families? And I know that's a huge part of the High School Champions League, is the model of there's no cost, there's no barrier, to get in. It's merit based. You earn your way in by the results, and it's not going to say, well, because you don't have the funds or the fees or whatever, the facility, whatever the case may be, you earn your way into that event. And we're so fortunate to have people and sponsors that support the event. And I'd be interested to see how the U.S. continues to build coming out of the youth system, coming out for the next World Cup in 4 years, which seems like Pochettino, they're going to bring him back for 4 more. So he got a little bit of time to kind of build, and we'll see how he continues to build over the next 4 years.
Ryan, you just went into the Wales Certified Hall of Affinity, but you got a ticket. I got to redo your ticket in a couple years to see if you're right.
Awesome.
All right.
And last but not least, because I know this is a little bit of supposed to be quick, and I'm probably a little over my time here, but I'm just gonna talk about the upcoming High School Champions League, and fortunate to have the boys and the girls over at Calvary here representing. It's an exciting time. It's something that we put on the calendar, and we have this year Wiregrass Ranch out of Pasco, who we've seen a couple times in the High School Champions League. And then we have Eastlake High School, who is a stronger school up in the North Pinellas County. And then we have St. Pete High School out of South Pinellas County. So already starting to look ahead to those games. And we're hoping this year to find ourselves into the semifinal. It would be our first. This is our we've made a couple different appearances, or a third appearance in the Champions League now, and 3 straight years. And we know how tough the competition is, but we welcome it, and we're setting a goal for ourselves to try to find ourselves into the semifinal. And I guess that we'll tell by December. And I know you'll be in town. I believe that was the plan for that weekend, the semi and the final. So hopefully I'll be out there coaching the team, and I hope you'll be supporting Calvary. I know you'll be supporting the movement, but maybe a little. I'll get you a T-shirt.
Oh, I'm a homer, baby. I'm a homer. Yeah, I go to Calvary, Bat. That's where I go. When I'm in Tampa, I go Calvary.
Here we go.
Wow, I'm going to be looking forward to seeing you. I don't know any German or anything, but I sure...
Me neither.
Okay. But man, oh man. I used to play... we have a Calvary here as a cemetery. And we used to play top-level amateur ball in the cemetery. It was a wide-open field. And we only lasted a couple weeks because the ground was so wet, it kind of like brought you down. It was like eating you up, man. We said, forget about it. I'm having nightmares. But the way of the Calvary and the way you're doing justice to your boys and girls at Calvary High School doesn't take a backseat to nobody in the whole world. So congratulations to you. And I mean to tell you, without the whale, this and that, you would have made under 11 minutes. So you're bona fide, baby.
Thank you. Well, appreciate it. Appreciate you having me on, and looking forward to continuing to see the progression in the movement for the support of the High School Champions League.
All right, so I'm going to be working without a net. I'm going to say, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the United States High School Champions League starting 11 with Ryan Seidl.
Ryan Seidl.
Seidl. And Kevin Whalen, ladies and gentlemen. The best to you, Brian.
Thank you. Take care.
Go Calvary.